why is this? Because the 321 is released in Benelux, so Belgium, Luxembourg, Nederland.
Yeah.
Why is it exclusively for those three countries?
It's just a start, really. I wanted to just start somewhere in Europe, and I sort of reached the point in Australia where after 3 albums, I really felt like I wanted to start touring overseas. And generally with Australian artists, because it's so far away and isolated, you know, they sort of choose between the US or Europe, you know, and Europe just seemed to attract me a lot more. I felt more inspired to go Europe over the US initially, and I just connected with some Dutch people, and it started in Holland, and then they, you know, I had some songs on radio here, so it's like, let's start in Holland, why not? You know.
And did you come up with the idea of releasing a compilation album that covered all your work up to now?
Yeah, because it's like, I guess it was a way of, you know, summing up the last few years and the last few albums in Australia, and also I had the choice of like the best songs from each album. Well, you know, the songs, my favourite songs, and so yeah.
Sort of a best of.
Well, I can't call it a best of. I can't call it. I'm far too early in my career to call myself a best of. that would be just being arrogant. Yeah.
Now, how did the selection come about?
Well, I actually just started by choosing my favourite songs from all the albums, and then I put them together, and then it was a matter of just having to kick out a couple because it wasn't flowing, you know, try and still make the album flow like a record, you know. So
3, 2, 1 sounds like you're counting down to
lift off. Yeah. No, it's just a
European lift off.
Yeah, European lift off. No, it's just a play on, you know, going from 3 albums to 1 album, 3 to 1. Yeah.
And what trip or tour has brought you the most so far?
In terms of just
fans or money or recognition?
Well, it's like, this is my first tour in Europe, and I've done 2 shows, so there's not that much to compare it to.
In Australia,
but in
perhaps?
Australia, I think what always stands out for me was when, you know, there was that momentum with the first album, and it was really picking up in Australia. And I remember the first tour where everyone was singing along, you know, in the crowd, and that was just like, whoa, you know, that was amazing for me, because I mean, as a songwriter, you just go, imagine writing a song where it just connects with people and they're just there in a room singing along. And I just remember being spun out, you know. It's just like, I'm sure I wrote this. This isn't a Beatles song. I'm sure I wrote this, you know. This is wild. Yeah.
But then, in a way, the song also gets taken away from you or something.
Yeah, it's true, but the first time that happens, where the songs go from private to public, is an amazing feeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's going to happen now?
What's going to happen now? You know, just world domination one step at a time, you know, just another day in the office, really. What's going to happen now? I am really looking forward to touring more here in Holland, and hopefully in you know, some other countries in Europe, and just to be able to come here and have a touring path. And yeah, and I think the thing of being a songwriter is you always feel like you haven't written your best song yet. Even Paul McCartney says that, so I'm certainly saying that.
You're always looking for that.
Always looking for the perfect song.
Is it easy to do that while you're on tour?
No, I can't
write. Catching planes?
No, I can't write while I'm on tour, no. Because I find it's a different part of your brain that is functioning when you're performing and when you're writing. And it takes me about 3 days for my brain to kind of like, you know. So no, I never write on the road, actually.
Do you write at home?
Yeah, I write at home, or when I'm home I try and take some time away and just go and do nothing but songwriting. And yeah, after about 3 days your brain starts throwing out stuff. You just go, ooh, where did that come from? That's cool, you know, but it takes a while.
So you're sitting there with the record button under your finger?
I'm generally sitting with a guitar, and I'll come up with musical ideas. I'll just start singing, and you know, stream of consciousness, like they say, just words come out, whatever, and then you find something, find a musical idea, and you hold on to that and start refining it. And the lyrics generally will come later, and that's what takes me a while, is finding that thing I really need a really strong idea of knowing what I'm writing about. That can take a while.
All right, thanks a lot.
Pleasure.